Hey everybody, it's Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have our 6th and final bundle to go card for our Petal palette suite. Can you believe we're on number 6 already? I hope you gals have been putting them together. So today we're doing something bright and sunny. We're using Daffodil Delight. We're using the Designer Series paper, and we're just doing a little bit of stamping. I'm also using watercolor pencils today, but you could do this with your aqua painters and ink, or you could do this with your blend pen, so whatever ink option you choose to do. I'll show you how I did that background. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's see. When you get your kit, you will have a card back, bright yellow for mounting. We've got the barn fold doors on our Whisper White. Okay, that's going to become the mount there. We have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. Now when I did this one I used this side, but the other side is just as lovely if you prefer the other side. So you have choices there. Okay, I think we're going to stick with this side. You're going to have a piece of Daffodil Delight, and what you're going to do is you're going to run that through your embossing folder. I picked the one with all the flowers. So you're going to emboss that. Then I took it to the Big Shot and I die cut a Lots of Labels die out of that. Okay. If by chance you don't have Lots of Labels die, I will pre-cut your label shape for you, and then you can just emboss what's left. Then you'll have a piece of Basic Black, and again I will pre-cut this for you because some of you don't have the dies. Okay, and easy peasy, who can guess what I do with this? So we're going to cut it in half. And then we're just going to mount the yellow one on top and create a little bit of a border on the 2 sides. Okay, that just makes that stand out a little bit. So that's pretty simple. Okay, then you will have a piece of Garden Green. I don't actually have it here because I already cut it because I didn't want to do the Big Shot onto camera. So you're going to have a piece of Garden Green cardstock, and it'll be large enough to cut 2 of these flower dies out of it. Now I did use my wax paper when I put these in the Big Shot. It helped me get those out easier. But we're going to have 2 of those. Okay. Then you're going to have a piece of Whisper White. This is thick white. And you're going to first stamp your expression on one end. Okay, and that'll be die cut with your framelit. And then you're going to stamp 2 flowers, and I did this in Daffodil Delight. And then you will also die cut those 2 flowers with the Big Shot die. Okay, so we're going to end up with a tag and 2 flowers and our 2 green flower combinations. Okay, so let me think. And then you also have a piece of ribbon. Okay, now this ribbon I did just wrap it around the back and I brought it to the front. Now I try not to use a glue dot because I end up sliding that underneath the ribbon. So if you feel better you can tie it after, but I'll show you why I tied it first. Alright, so I tie that like that. I use one finger to kind of hold that down. Then I come around and I want to make a second knot. No, this is hard to see. I'm basically just tying a double knot. If you want to, you could do a cheater bow. You could wrap it around the back side, cut your piece shorter, wrap it around the back side, and then just tie it off. But I just did it this way. So whichever way works better for you guys. I do want to twist it a little bit though, because I want the X's to show on my ribbon. So that might take a little convincing, but we'll get there. Okay, so then I pull these up and I'm going to give them a trim so they're close to the same length. Okay, so there's that. Then this piece I'm putting on with dimensionals. And before I put that on, let me show you. So I'm going to slide this bow now that it's tied on, kind of all the way down to the edge for the moment. I'm going to put some snail right down the center, and then I'm just tacking our garden green die cut flowers off. Now see there again, I tucked it underneath where that ribbon goes. And then I'm going to put this tag right over the top of that center where the snail went, so it'll be fine that the snail's there because it's not going to be tacky on your card. Okay, so there's that. I can adjust my bow where I want it. No worries. Okay, and then I'm going to bring glue dots in and add our 2 die cut flowers. And then there's the center of our card for our barn door, all dolled up to go. Okay, so that's pretty simple. All right, lots of layers, but pretty simple. So now let me pull out these 2 panels. Okay, so from these 2 panels, now like I said, I'm doing watercolor pencils today, but you can use your aqua painters and ink, you can use your blend pens, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see how I'm applying the color. So I'm using the watercolor pencils and the blender pen to get my effect here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I guess, scribble some color over where my flowers are. Okay, so I do all the yellow first. Something on my table is knocking as I color. Hopefully that's not too annoying on the film. So I'm adding color there. Now remember, my blends are going to spread that color out as much as I want after I come back in with the blend. So if you just apply some color in the area of those flowers, you'll be able to work the watercolor pencil that you're putting on there into the space. So another way you could do this, if you'd rather, you could brayer the panels, and you could just start with yellow and brayer the yellow on, and then you could go back and apply the green to the leaves if you wanted to. So this isn't really detail work, you're really just applying color to the panel. Okay, so that's the yellow, and then I'm just going to pick up some of the leaves. I'm not even doing all of the leaves, I'm just doing some of the leaves. So because remember, some of this is going to be behind our closure, so I don't have to worry about having too much on there. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my blender pen, okay, and we're just going to blend out some of our color. And like I said, you can blend this out as much as you want to. I'm just kind of making a cloud around the image where I put the color. Kind of like, think of it as like a halo of color around, and you can smooth out your edges as much as you want to. It's a kind of a fun way to apply color to our black and white paper. Okay, so there's yellow on that one, and then this one, I'm going to do the same thing. And then after I do all the yellow, I can move in and do the green on the leaves. And then you can see in the card sample that's done, we still have a lot of white. So if you brayered it, you wouldn't have any white left. All of it would be yellow. So if anybody tries that, I'd love to see it. So, okay. Now, let's hope the doggies don't get too loud. All right, so now I'm just going to move in and create that halo of green over where I have applied that to the paper. It almost makes these look like pussy willows, kind of soft and fluffy. Okay, so there's our 2 panels. Now I'm going to zoom back out. Alright, so now we just have to snail it all together. So I'm going to first start by putting the white card base onto that backer piece. So this is just a way of adding some color to your card project without necessarily having to use a whole piece of cardstock. So I have a white card, but I've got that yellow kind of framing it in. Then I'm just going to snail my 2 panels, and one goes on each flap. So let's see. One there, one here. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on right there, and I'm just going to put some snail right along that edge, so right along this edge, and then right on the back. If you'd rather use dimensionals, you can. I just don't want the card to be too thick, so I'm just going to apply that down. So our adhesive is only behind this side, and your black framelit should just about fit side to side on your panels there. And then for the envelope, I just stamped some yellow flowers up in the corner. So there we have it, everybody. There's our 6th and final card for the bundle to go. I hope you enjoyed all the projects we did. And the dogs say hello, and I will say goodbye now so they don't go off crazy. All right, everybody. I'll see you for the next bundle to go. Thanks so much.